Great, so I'll make a start. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'm very excited to share one of these monthly dream mini workshops, and this time we're going to focus on relationships and how dreams help and guide our relationships. Every month we meet and focus on bite-sized aspects of dreams, and the aim is really to help you understand your own dreams. If you're watching this on YouTube, then a very warm welcome to you. And if you enjoyed today's session, then please like and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to be notified of more videos like this. Okay, this is an interactive session, so if you've got any questions, please unmute yourself or type your question in the chat, and Leanne is very kindly handling the comments as we go. Thank you, Leanne, for that. And if you're on YouTube, then feel free to write a comment under the video and I will get straight back to you on that. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Olly. I'm a spiritual counselor and healer. I help people to overcome life's challenges so they can heal and be who they were meant to be. And one of the ways I do that is by working with them on their dreams. My passion for dreams started in 2018, studying the work of several dream teachers since then, in particular Michael Sheridan, who's a fantastic dream interpreter, so gifted. He runs a weekly podcast, has written books and runs courses all the time. And a lot of what we'll cover today is from his work and his teacher before him, George Radigan. So without further ado, if you've got any questions, then please just raise your hand as we go or unmute, and let's dive in and find out how dreams heal and guide us when it comes to our relationships. So in this presentation, we're going to look at how relationships help us on our journey to awareness. We'll be taking a look at some relationship dream symbols that you can expect to see if your dream is a relationship theme. And we'll try some real dreams from real people and see if we can interpret their meanings. So, relationships and a journey to awareness. Relationships hold up a mirror to ourselves. They're an important experience on our journey to awareness because they're really just showing what's in us. And the type of partner that you can attract is limited by the relationship with your parents. And the partner that you attract will have the same traits, more often than not, as the parent you have the most issues with. I love this quote from Michael Sheridan, that our parents install the buttons which trigger us, and then we find a partner who can see those buttons and push them. When we become aware that the problem is not our partner or them, but actually inside us, then we have the opportunity to heal. And many people ask the question, how do I find my ideal partner? As if the solution is outside of them. But really, we've got to deal with our own issues first. We've got to sort out what's inside rather than trying to fix our partner. Now, it's worth mentioning that if you do work on yourself, then sometimes, not all the time, we might find that we outgrow the existing relationship because it's kind of no more that we can learn or experience from it. However, that said, if both parties are working on themselves, then the relationship is usually always positive and healthy. Now, relationships help us to love ourselves, and that's really the key. And I love this phrase from Dr. Peebles. He often says to have loving allowance for all things in their time and place, starting with yourself. Once we can really truly love ourselves, stop criticizing ourselves and stop putting ourselves down and recognize who we actually are, then we're free to let our partner be who they are. And we don't need them to fill a void in us, which would otherwise impose our will on them to fulfill a role. And the number one universal principle is that of free will. We all have free will. And a lovely phrase, a lovely quote from a song that Nat King Cole sings, and the song's called Nature Boy, is the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Such a beautiful, beautiful phrase. And it's true. Relationships enable us to experience that. To experience that of giving love, but also receiving love. The other thing that relationships do and help us on our journey to awareness is allow us to be completely open. You see, on the earth, on the material plane, we can hide our feelings, our emotions, and our thoughts. We can give an appearance of being something perhaps that we aren't. And being completely open and having that flow of communication with respect, in one way means that we become vulnerable, but we don't actually need to protect ourselves. We are a spirit that just happens to be temporarily in a body, and we can't die. We are eternal, and so the idea of needing to protect oneself, once that becomes part of our philosophy, is actually, it doesn't make any sense. And that means that we can become open, and that means we can start to heal. Learning to be completely open also prepares us for life back in spirit. I mean, we're here temporarily, and we've been here many, many times. And so when the part of us goes back and rejoins the larger part of us, if you like, the higher self, then it can be quite disorienting. But if we've learned to be open on the earth plane, at least with one person, then we're well acclimatized when we need to go back. In spirit, our thoughts, feelings, and emotions are immediately sensed by others. And if we understand that before that, then it makes the journey back much easier when we need to go back. Okay, so let's dive into some relationship dream symbols, the kind of things that you could spot if you're in a dream. And the theme is about relationships. So firstly, it's really important to note that we need to find the main theme of a dream, and that's usually when there's like 2 or 3 symbols which confirm each other. Now, you might have a single strong symbol, and that's absolutely fine, and we'll cover that in this slide here. So, the number 1 dream symbol for a relationship theme is your partner or your ex appearing in the dream. It's usually always a relationship dream. However, there are exceptions to this. If your partner helps you in a dream, it can reflect a supportive relationship in real life. And my wife Leanne and I have experience of that, and we seem to appear in each other's dreams most of the time, usually hopefully in positive roles. And so that just really reflects that we work together and we help each other. If you dream of an ex, then it's likely, if your past relationship ended badly, then you may be holding yourself back in your current relationship. And so there are maybe issues that need to be cleared or healed if you dream of an ex. Pairs of objects, socks, shoes. That's a good strong symbol for a relationship dream, as we'll see in one of the dreams today. And hopefully you don't get mismatched pairs of socks or shoes. The number 2, for obvious reasons, number 2 also signifies a give and take, communication, two-way communication, which is obviously essential in relationships. The colour orange also appears, and that represents the sacral chakra. And so that can tell us that we've got an intimacy theme, if you like, and we would look for supporting relationship symbols as well to confirm that. A dog or a pet animal can often appear in a dream, representing intimacy. If you lose a dog, that can represent a problem in a relationship. So it's kind of like you might have lost intimacy, perhaps. Finding a lost dog can even symbolize that a past lover is returning to you always sound like that. That feels like that sounds like from an astrology chart kind of reading or something. But that could even be someone from a past life who is coming back into your life. And that's appeared in dreams before. A chicken. Because a chicken is often used as a term of endearment. So hopefully you don't get a frozen chicken, which would signify that you perhaps need to be warmer towards your partner. And hopefully you wouldn't get a snake. And a snake can indicate that you're in a bad relationship or one that's not very positive, and that's perhaps how you view your partner. Doesn't come up very often, thankfully. Swans are a beautiful symbol, and swans mate for life, and you may see 2 swans, 2 again, that number 2, which would confirm that as well. Sex, yes, comes up in dreams a lot and has several meanings, but a couple of them are really, for example, if you're holding back from having sex with someone in a dream because perhaps you think, oh, I can't have sex with this person because I'm married, and you're thinking that in the dream, then that can actually symbolize that you are holding yourself back in some way due to influences from your partner in real life. If you find yourself being sexually intimate in a dream with somebody else other than your partner, don't worry. It's not that you're being unfaithful. The dream is actually encouraging you to become more intimate with either a feminine or a masculine aspect, depending on the gender of the person that you're being intimate with. So it's really a healing that goes on in dreams to bring you closer to some masculine or feminine aspect. And we talk about masculine and feminine energies in another of our monthly dream workshops that you can look up. A wedding, for obvious reasons, uniting male and female aspects, and this can symbolize, if it appears, it can symbolize that the dreamer's marriage or partnership needs healing in some way. And then we also have the bedroom, and that can represent the reproductive system, as well as sexual intimacy. It also can symbolize rest or meditation and activities on the astral plane, because we leave our body when we sleep at night, or most nights. So again, we would look for a supporting symbol to support that. If the partner or ex is not in the dream, then we would usually look for more than one of the other symbols to confirm the relationship theme. So now, I just wanted to make one final point about all of these symbols and relationship dreams, and that our higher self and our guides, they know that relationships are a very, very special and very valuable experience. They're full of potential for growth here on the earth plane. And your dreams are going to show you any problems in your relationship because it's so valuable, and they want to fix it. They want to help you move forward in it. And they'll offer constructive advice for making the experience even better. So you're usually going to be made aware of the negatives of what's going on in your relationship, so that you can make the changes that are needed to move forwards. Now, that might be healing in the dream that's actually happening actively, or it might be so that you can consciously make changes that will help you to move forward in the relationship. If there are no issues in your relationship, then you won't usually get any relationship dreams, because all is well and there are other things that need addressing. So we may find that some of the dreams that we cover today look a little bit negative, but it's really just from a point of view of wanting it to be better and how it can be better. Let's take a look at some dreams. Water in tubes. Now, remember that the title of a dream is very significant and really helps us with the interpretation. So let's take a look at what we've got. I was making water flow through plastic tubes and accumulate in a big can. I was doing this with my wife. Immediately, we've got the dreamer's wife. So we know that it's definitely going to be a relationship dream. And then we've got water. Now, water in dreams signifies spirituality, connection with our spiritual side, our expression of the soul. And we see plastic. And plastic is a man-made object, a man-made material. And it often signifies societal conventions, i.e. a man-made obstacle to spiritual understanding. And we've got this big can. So we can kind of see here, if we put this together in the theme of the relationship, that the dreamer is restricting his flow of spirituality, the water. And that is actually affecting the relationship with his wife as well. See, water should be used to spur growth, to let it flow. For example, if you see water in a river in a dream, that's very positive. It's about getting into the flow of your spirituality and your spiritual nature. But here, in this instance, it's being canned. So we can see that restriction happening. And when it comes to your relationship, it's good not to restrict things due to your spiritual beliefs. So let you and your partner be who you need to be. So a simple dream, but it's got a clear message. It's saying just let your expression be what it needs to be. Don't restrict yourself. And communication will obviously play a big part of that. Let's try another. Okay, this is going to be your turn now. The broken telephone. I dreamt that I was in the bedroom and there was a black broken telephone on the bed. Any ideas?
Rena has raised a hand.
I don't know if this is correct, but I always thought black meant something not positive. Telephone, I'm thinking, is about communication.
Great.
So I'm just wondering if this is a way of saying you're not communicating very well, and if you are communicating, it's not as positive as it possibly could be.
Yeah, you're on the right track. Absolutely. Well done. Yeah. I mean, the first thing is, yes, we've got the bedroom. So we're instantly got this possible theme of sexual intimacy. And we've got this black, broken telephone. So, yes, you're quite right, Rena. Black is about negativity or fear. We've got a broken telephone, so something's not working. So when we put all that together, and we've got the bed there, of course, as well, which kind of goes with the bedroom, then the dreamer is really being asked to work on sexual communication with his partner or her partner. And the thing is that the dreamer is fearful about doing this, and hence the black telephone. And so, yeah, it's about respectful communication in any relationship being really, really important on so many levels, whether it's sexual intimacy or just everyday life. So a simple dream again, but with a kind of quite a punchy kind of message, really, to go with that. Fantastic. Here's another one. Ex-partner. I was in the garden of an ex-partner some time ago. I was wandering up a curving path when I saw in amongst some bushes the face of my ex-partner. I could not seem to reach where the face was appearing, and it was all very dark. It was very dark all around the head. And this is from Michael Sheridan's book, How to Interpret Your Dreams. So, keywords, what are we looking at here?
Wondering.
We're wondering, right. So
is that a pun on the word wander, as in wandering around, or wonder?
Yeah, it's saying really the dreamer is wandering and wandering through life, going along the path of life with no clear focus. So that's good. Any other keywords? Any other ideas from this?
The ex-partner.
Okay, fab. So we immediately know that this is something to do with an ex. Some issue from the past is affecting the dreamer now. We have the wandering. That's what's happening to the dreamer as a result. And we've got this interesting thing here, dark all around the head. Any ideas?
Could that possibly be about confusion, mental confusion?
Yeah, you're on the right track. Absolutely. Knowing that dark or black is about negativity, then we've got this idea of sort of negative thoughts, and so when you see darkness or blackness in the context of head or going upstairs, that very often signifies depression. And so here, the dreamer could not seem to reach where the face was. So this is kind of like a pun in a way, and the dreamer's been asked to face up to the subject of the dream, to the issues from the ex, which are causing her depression now. And so the interpretation really is to say, okay, the dreamer has not got over her ex in some way, and suffers from bouts of depression as a result. And the dream is asking her to face up to this breakup, refocus her life, rather than wander along a path aimlessly. And in reality, the actual dreamer from whose dream this is, she hit a deep and a really quite a long depression when her relationship ended, and it was about 2 years before the dream. And she then did a lot of work on herself. She pulled through that, and she got her life back on track. And a good therapy, an effective therapy for addressing this kind of issue would be cutting the ties that bind with the actual partner, with the ex. And that would be a really good way forward for this lady. And she's probably what she did. Cool, but well done, Rena. Yes, absolutely. A confusion in the head, a darkness in the head, a depression. The parked car. See, these are all good ones, eh? It's like we've got my husband and I are in a parked car in front of a house. Oh dear. We are asleep. Oh dear. I wake up and look at my watch. It is 9:06. I'm late for work. I hurry out of the car to get ready. So I'll just highlight some of the symbols. Got the husband, we've got the car, front of the house, asleep, 9:06. So we know it's a relationship dream because of the husband. The car can be about karma. It's a pun on karma. And karma is all about how we learn in this life. It's through the 5 senses. And we perhaps keep on repeating situations or experiences in our life until we realize that we've got to heal something on the inside. That's how karma works. It can also be, a car can be how we pursue our goals. And in this dream, it actually means both. The car is parked, so the relationship is parked. It's going nowhere. It's at the front of the house, and dreams often do this. They often use position or location to indicate time. So if you're at the front of the house, that is the present time. If you're a long sort of way away and you can see it in the distance, that's in the future. If it's in the back garden, let's say, that would be the past. So this is affecting the dreamer right now. She's late for work, and that again is to do with karma. And when we come to Earth, we come with having made a plan of what we want to achieve. And we made that plan with our spirit guides before we actually came here. And so sometimes we can get late dreams, and late dreams are a way that our higher self is just reminding us that we are perhaps a little behind schedule here, and that by the age of whatever, you said that you would be doing X, Y, Z, and perhaps that's got a bit behind. So again, a reference to karma. And she's been asked to get out of the car. She's hurrying, she's late for work, and she's asked to get out of the car. So she's been asked to get off the karmic path. When we've learnt what we need to learn from the 5 senses, when we've learnt the experiences, and there's not really much more that we can learn from the experiences that we have, we can move from the karmic path to the dharmic path, and that's living from the heart, sometimes called Christ consciousness. And it's really a very different way of living, very much not a logical way of living or rational, but really driven by feeling and from the heart. So that can happen when you come off the karmic path and onto the dharmic path, and it's a very kind of blessed state to be in. And we also see that in the numbers 906. 9 signifies, and there's a monthly dream workshop on this. You can look up on numbers. Anybody remember what 9 means?
last earthly life.
Right. Potentially, this could be the last incarnation you need to heal what you want to heal. So this is really cool for this dreamer. It's saying that, hey, this is the last possible life that you possibly need. 0 is a goal. So your goal is to make it to 6, which is the dharmic path, to live from the heart. And so we have this kind of situation where the relationship's going nowhere. She has to make a change in some way, and it might be to leave the relationship, or it might be to rekindle the relationship. And sometimes relationships that look bad from the outside they actually do have spiritual value, because the partners will grow in awareness as a result, even if it's like a kind of negative dynamic. That could be part of the karmic path that they planned they would experience. And we don't know when this is the case, but their dreams will encourage them to stay together. However, if the relationship has no spiritual value, and you've learnt, let's say, all you've had to learn from the relationship, then your dreams will often ask you to leave that relationship. And it seems to be that in this case, it might well be the case. She's been asked to leave the car. So that's the interpretation here. Okay, let's see if we've got one more. Trail of socks. A woman was about to put away laundered clothes when she noticed a trail of black socks, all in pairs, leading out into the back garden. And again, from Michael Sheridan's book. So, what have we got for symbols here? Any ideas?
You've got black socks, all in pairs, back garden.
Back garden, excellent. Yeah, put away laundered clothes. What have we got? Socks, black socks, and back garden. So, yeah, we've got putting away laundered clothes. And clothes are about attitude. So she's been asked to adopt a new attitude, put away her present attitudes, as it were, with regard to relationships, because we have those pairs, the socks. And this is as she's going forward in life. Now, socks, another meaning there is something you put on your feet. Feet take you forward in life. So we've got this, the dream is saying, if you can change your attitude when it comes to past relationships, because we've got the back garden past, then it's going to help you move forward in life. And she needs to address these ongoing effects, which are happening to her now, because the trail of socks, although it's not explicitly stated in the dream, the trail of socks leads from the back garden to where she is now. So that's that dream thing again of doing location as time. So from the back garden, the trail of socks gets to her where she is now. It's her present time. So yeah, well done, very good. And those past experiences were negative relationships because of the black. Okay, so fantastic. Yeah, so some dreams about relationships. Hopefully they have made a bit of sense. Do you have any questions from what we've covered today, or any questions about dreams and relationships in general?
Well, there was a question that came in, but you actually already addressed it. The question was about why don't I see sort of positive? How will I know if a relationship is positive or like a positive thing?
Yeah.
But you actually already answered that, but I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, no, so it is a good question. And, sometimes dreams will encourage us. If we're kind of thinking, if there's a new relationship or something, or if we're in a relationship and we're kind of not quite sure, then dreams will encourage us if it's a good thing. And so, you might get the color gray coming into the dream, which is sort of saying you're not quite sure. But if it's a positive relationship that's going to bring awareness and growth, then the dream will be very positive, and it'll be saying, you'll be having symbols like getting in a car and moving forwards, and pursuing your goals, that kind of thing. So sometimes dreams will show positive aspects of relationships. Perhaps if the dreamer needs a little bit more encouragement just to take the plunge. Hope that helps. Cool. Any other thoughts or questions?
Ollie, mine is more a generic question, really.
Mm,
And that is that when I really want to remember dreams,
mm,
I remember nothing. I mean, this week, for instance, sort of part of this week and part of last week, I really wanted to remember my dreams. And I keep waking up in the middle of the night between 3 and 4.
mm.
And I can remember it, and then I go back to sleep, and then I can't remember it. So there's this like thing, the more I want to remember, the less I am remembering.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that. What I can suggest, and it can make for some fun reading in the morning. But if you just grab yourself a little notebook and a pencil, and don't turn the light on when you wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, but just by feel, just write down some notes, some sort of key notes, or even write down what you can remember. And Leanne and I do that on a nightly basis. And because you're right, when you get to the morning, you forget. The way that dreams are stored in the brain means that they disperse very, very quickly. So that can give you the little, that's what it was about, prompt in the morning. I don't know if that's something you've tried before.
No, because I always, I'm glad you said don't turn the light on, because my thing is, if I wake myself up totally, it's going to take me really long to fall asleep again. But
Yeah,
I like the idea of not switching on the lights and just feeling and writing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it does make it fun in the morning. It's like, what did I write here? What was that? But usually you can kind of make it out and go, and it'll just trigger that memory.
Right. Okay.
That's
Brilliant. Thank you.
a pleasure. Yeah, pleasure. Awesome. Okay. Well, just to sum up then, really, dreams offer us guidance and healing. Just remember that's always the case with dreams. 99% of the time when we dream, it's going to be guidance and healing in the dream for us. And they can offer that for relationships. Relationships are a key part of our life, and they're a key part of why we came here very often. They help us to learn about ourselves as we move along the karmic path very often of growth. And so dreams will take an interest in that. And even if you move on to the dharmic path, relationships are still really important. And they're going to highlight aspects that need healing. So sometimes they come across as quite negative in terms of, but they're always going to be looking for things that could be better to help you, encourage you to make the relationship better. And the reason they do that is so that we can love ourselves first and allow our partner to be who they are. And so I will just say, if you need any help understanding a dream that's come in to you, then please feel free to visit my website, which is oliverwedgwood.com. And I'll be very happy to help you interpret your dream. And I will leave you with that quote from the song called Nature Boy. And the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. So thank you so much for being here today. It's been a real pleasure. And I look forward to seeing you all soon at the next one.